let them have that. Yeah, it looks real charming and tempting. It's all shiny and red, but you know what? That's not for me. God's for me, and He has a plan and a provision for my life.
Amen.
And then there's the fight test. You know, Lot and them got taken. You know, I'm just going to skip through these verses. I just want to talk about it. But Abraham went and he fought, and he was successful, and he got all the goods, and he got Lot and them back. And then there was the fortune test where the king of Sodom was trying to bribe him and give him this and give him that. And Abraham said, I don't want a shoe latchet from you, dude. I don't want nothing from you because I don't want you to say that you made me rich. God made me rich. And that's where we need to be today. We need to quit taking from the enemy. We need to start making sure all our provisions come from the Lord. That everything that we do, we're walking in integrity. We're walking in honesty. That we don't have our hands in anything that's dirty. We don't want to give the devil nothing. All right. There was another defining moment with Apostle Paul. You know, I talked about my addiction, and I was blinded through that whole thing. Could you imagine Apostle Paul? He was crucifying Christians. And then that moment, when he seen a light, and he got touched by Jesus. I mean, that's amazing. Because everything in him, he believed against Jesus. That's why he was killing the believers. But then he had a moment that opened him up, and he finally believed. Now, you guys don't shout me down this morning. I'm going kind of slow, but I'm trying to build a climax to something that's very important. We need our eyes open this morning. We need that road to Damascus moment. We got to have it. Because without it, we're wasting our time. You know, his signature move after that was he knew Jesus was real. And he was committed to Jesus. So I started getting all this information. I started studying it. And then I found an article on Martin Luther. I don't know if you guys know who Martin Luther was. But he was really religious. And then something snapped. And then religion broke. And then the Spirit hit him. And I have a story of that. So I want to read that to you real quick. Because I thought it was very important. I tried to memorize the story, but I don't want to mess it up. So I'll just try to go quickly. Before his bold declaration of the truth of the gospel, Martin Luther was an Augustinian monk. As a monk, he went on a pilgrimage to Rome, and as he crossed the Alps, he fell deathly ill. As he lay sick, he felt great turmoil, both physical and spiritual, and a verse that had previously touched him came to mind. The just will live by his faith, from Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. When Luther recovered, he went on to Rome and did the tourist things that all the pilgrims did. One day he came to the church of St. John's Lateran, where there is a staircase said to be from Pilate's judgment hall. It was the custom of the pilgrims to climb the staircase, but never on their feet. They painfully climbed a step at a time on their knees, saying prayers and kissing the steps where it was thought that the blood of Jesus fell. Luther came to this place and started doing it just as all the other pilgrims, because the Pope promised an indulgence to all who climbed these steps on their knees and said the prayers. And as he did this, Luther remembered the words from Habakkuk, the just will live by his faith. It is said that when he remembered this, he stopped what he was doing. He stood up off his knees and he walked down the steps and went straight back home to Germany. Some say the Reformation began on those stairs. Before those words, these are Luther's words right now. Before those words broke upon my mind, I hated God, and I was angry with him, because not content with frightening us sinners by the law and by the miseries of life, he still further increased our torture by the gospel. But when by the Spirit of God I understood those words, the just shall live by faith, the just shall live by faith, then I felt born again like a new man. He said he entered through the open doors into the very paradise of God. Hallelujah. And that is amazing right there. These guys are walking up steps on their knees and kissing the steps and praying because they thought it would break something. Ain't it amazing while he's doing that, the Spirit of God got on him and opened his eyes and was like, what are you doing? And I feel like that's